Everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. So we'll unbox this, and then we'll also take a look at the Galaxy Buds Pro, as well as the S-View flip cover that I was able to get free with this with the pre-order. Now, before we get started, this video is sponsored by Anker. Now, the first thing is the overall price. It starts at $1,199 and goes up to $1,599. That will get you anywhere from 128 gigabytes to up to 1 terabyte of storage. However, with the pre-order, they were actually giving you the 128 gigabyte price, but giving you 256 gigabytes of storage. It's not expandable, and by bumping up that storage, you go from 8 gigabytes of RAM to 12 gigabytes of RAM. So only the 128 gigabyte model has 8 gigabytes of RAM. We have a few different colors. This is actually the Phantom White version. We have burgundy, Phantom Black, and green as well. And then there's some exclusive colors such as graphite, sky blue, and red. Let's go ahead and unbox this. So we'll go ahead and flip this over here. Got my unboxing knife, and we'll see what's in the box. So we'll cut that open here, set that aside, and let's see what we've got in here. I haven't seen one of these in person. The top was pretty loose fitting. And here is the S22 Ultra. So we'll set this aside for just a moment, and let's take a look at what's in the box. Nothing in the top there. In the bottom, we've got, well, it looks like just this little tiny box. With on the back, we've got our SIM card ejector tool. And then let's go ahead and open this up and see what we've got inside. So inside, we have a USB-C to USB-C cable. So your typical Samsung cable. And then also, we have a quick start guide, and that's about it. So not a whole lot more in here. That's all you get with the phone, at least in the United States. So let's go ahead and set this aside. Now let's go ahead and take a look around the outside of the phone, but let's first take off this little plastic piece on the back. There we go. And this is a really nice sort of matte white color. So if I bring it up close here, you can see it has this nice matte finish to it. We have an aluminum frame, and on the right-hand side, we have a millimeter wave antenna. We have a power sleep wake button, and then above that, we have a volume rocker. On the top, we have a microphone, and you can see there's additional plastic here. So there's actually a plastic protective piece on the top and sort of all around the device. I guess I'll just leave that for now. You can see you can pull that up here on the side. And also on this side, we just have aluminum. On the bottom, of course, we have our SIM card tray. Let's take a look at that. So we'll go ahead and pop out the SIM card tray so we can take a look at it. Now you can see there's a microphone right there. You have to be very careful not to put the SIM card ejector tool into the microphone hole. So you don't want to pop the microphone at all or break it. You can see here's the SIM card tray. So it's only got room for one SIM card. And you do have an eSIM option as well, but no dual SIM, at least in the United States. And then here is the S Pen. So it's a black S Pen that goes along with this. Comes with it, feels just like any other S Pen, but it fits in here nicely, very similar to a Note. Now we'll talk about specs in a moment, but this doesn't come with a charger this year. But if you need a charger, that's where the official charging partner of Zollotech comes in, Anker. This is the Anker 713 charger, Nano 2 45 watt, and it's part of the Anker Nano 2 lineup. The Anker Nano 2 is powered by gallium nitride 2 technology, giving it a 20% increase in operating frequency, an innovative stack design, and an upgraded circuit board structure, making it 34% smaller than the original 45 watt charger. However, this is all without sacrificing a drop of power, and it also has a foldable plug. So you've got 45 watts here, you can fast charge, and the 713 Nano 2 45 watt is the perfect charger for the latest Samsung devices. It's compatible with Samsung's super fast charging on their latest phones and the new S8 tab at a full 45 watt. Of course, it works with the latest iPhones, MacBooks, Nintendo Switch, and more, and the full Anker Nano 2 lineup features other gallium nitride 2 equipped chargers at different wattages and configurations, including the all-new Anker 735 charger. This is the Nano 2 65 watt charger. So again, with that foldable plug, but you can charge 2 USB-C, including a laptop, a new MacBook, anything like that, as well as USB-A. So a MacBook Air would work just fine with this. I'll leave a link to them in the description below, and be sure to check them out there. Internally, we have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 with 12 gigabytes of RAM. There's also Exynos variants in other countries as well. We have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, again with that fast charging up to 45 watt, USB power delivery 3.0. It also has fast Qi charging up to 15 watts and reverse wireless charging up to 4.5 watts. It has Wi-Fi 802.11 ABGN and AC and 6E as well, with Bluetooth 5.2. Of course, it has 5G, and then on the Surface, it has Gorilla Glass Victus Plus with a dynamic AMOLED 6.8-inch display at 3088 by 1440 pixels with a 500 pixel per inch density, 120 Hz display, as well as HDR10+. Also, it includes an under-the-screen fingerprint sensor. When it comes to the cameras, on the front, we have a 40 megapixel selfie camera, f2.2, that can record 4K video up to 60 frames per second. And then on the rear, we have 4 different cameras. We have a 108 megapixel f1.8, a 10 megapixel f4.9, periscope zoom up to 10x optical, 10 megapixel f2.4 telephoto, so that's a 70 millimeter zoom, as well as a 12 megapixel f2.2, 13 millimeter or 120 degree ultra wide, and it can record up to 8K at 24 frames per second. We also have 4K 60 as well as HDR10+. It comes with Android 12 along with One UI 4.1 and 4 years of software support. So that's something we haven't seen before. It also has IP68 ratings up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. Now, as far as the overall size of the phone, you'll see the S21 Ultra here on the left. It looks very different and it's a little bit different. I actually like the S22 Ultra better, but this is just my opinion, of course. You can see there's no camera bump, of course, and I actually like it without the camera bump. My personal opinion, but you may or may not like that. It's a little bit wider than the S21 Ultra as well, and it feels very similar, but maybe a little bit heavier. As far as the Note 20 Ultra, which is most similar to it, you can see that here. So we don't have the camera bump, but it looks really good, but I really like this matte finish. The camera lenses stick out quite a bit, but you'll see overall it's most similar to a Note 20 Ultra. So very, very similar as far as that goes, and overall size is very similar as well. So again, maybe a little bit wider there, but it's a really big phone and looks great. Now let's go ahead and boot it up and get it set up. So we'll turn it on here for the first time. It also has a factory installed screen protector. Let's go ahead and remove that. There we go. Now we're at the start screen. We'll go ahead and hit start. It says insert a SIM card to connect a mobile network. I'll just use Wi-Fi for now. I'll put a SIM card in it a little bit later. You have to agree to the terms, agree to the privacy policy, and you also have an optional I agree to the sending of diagnostic data. We'll go ahead and hit agree there. And then you have permissions for Samsung apps and services. So you can agree or disagree, and there's a bunch of different ones there. And we can add a network now. Now I've connected to the network. It's looking for updates. It says getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. Now we can copy apps and data from a different phone or not copy at all. We'll just select don't copy for now. We can change that later, of course. Now I've signed into Google. We'll set up a fingerprint and we'll hit continue. And we have to put in a PIN of some sort. Now that I've set up a PIN, we'll go ahead and scan our fingerprint. So there we go. It's typical Samsung fingerprint here. We'll just continue to set it up. We'll give it a moment. I've set up a lot of these. These do seem to be the most picky though, which is probably a good thing. And we'll go ahead and hit next. So the fingerprint's set up. Now it's asking about Google Assistant. Access your assistant without unlocking your phone. You can agree or disagree. And it says getting your phone ready. So we'll give it just a moment here. Now it continues to take a while to set up, and that's a great background. Let's see that one more time. It's still setting up. Here's the fingerprint sensor. It unlocks nice and quick, although typical Samsung, it's a little bit slower than maybe some of the optical ones, but probably more secure. So I don't really mind that too much. Now it's saying you're all set up. We'll go ahead and hit finish and we'll get to the home screen. Give it just a moment there, and there we go. So tap for weather info. We'll hit agree. Give it just a moment here. There we go. Let's see what software is pre-installed. So we have Facebook, of course. Let's see if we can delete that. It looks like we can. We can uninstall Facebook. On previous versions, it would allow you to disable it, but not uninstall it. So I always appreciate that. And we've got the typical Samsung apps, as well as regular Google apps. You can fully customize that, and Microsoft apps, of course. If we scroll here, there we go. It's not responding. Let's see if we go home, and the phone is completely locked up for some reason. Let's see if we turn it off, and nothing's working. So it still looks like it's loading. There we go. It didn't respond for a moment for some reason, but let's go back in here. You'll see it had quite the hiccup, but now it's working. Let's go into the notification shade, and it's completing setup. So it could be doing a few things in the background. You'll see it reloaded again. And if we go into settings here, under settings, under the display, Of course, we have light and dark mode. We'll switch that. Adaptive brightness, motion smoothness, and it's adaptive up to 120 hertz at full resolution. So we have the screen resolution. We can go up to the highest resolution, but it will use more battery. Hit apply here. And again, like I said, you can see under motion smoothness, you have adaptive here. So that's built in, of course, all of that different software and that nice 120 hertz display. And then we have our S Pen with the typical sound there. I'll change that later. And it's showing you the different things you can do with the S Pen. So Smart Select, you have Translate, S Pen to text, Air Actions, as well as all of the different things it just said, and we'll hit done. So it says enjoy your S Pen, something I really like, but I don't really use too much, but I do like that it's here. And of course we have the little slide out options on the side here. So this is something I do use and customize quite often. So again, we have the S Pen. It's very responsive, of course. And if we go into the camera settings, let's take a look at that. So we have focus enhancer turned on. Let me put the S21 Ultra behind it so we have something in the frame. And maybe we'll zoom into 10x. So it's actually, well, let's zoom back out so I can see where we're at. It's actually 10 times zoom. So let's go ahead and steady, and then we'll take a picture and see what it looks like. So you can see the picture here. It's pretty good. It is supposed to be an optical zoom. And we'll set that up later and go back. And of course, we have all of the different video options I mentioned before. And let's turn this down. There we go. So here we have the different options for full HD. Of course, we have 8K or 4K at 60 frames per second. There we go. And it looks pretty good. Let's see what the forward-facing camera is like. So let's swing that around. We'll swap to the forward-facing camera, go to video, switch it to 4K 60, since that's what this video is in. And now I'm recording from the forward-facing camera of the S22 Ultra. So this allows you to hear the audio from it directly instead of this microphone here. And this is the 4K 60 video out of the front of it. So let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And so that's the software, typical Samsung software, what you would expect. Really reliable, and many people really like One UI. So of course you've got all of that. So what you would expect on a Samsung phone. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the accessories. So these are the Galaxy Buds Pro, and let's go ahead and open these up. These aren't anything really particularly new, but they are something that's really nice, especially since they're included for free when you pre-order, or you have money you can spend towards different things. And that's what I chose to use, since these are pretty good headphones. There we go, or earphones. So inside the box, you'll see here, we have sort of a white color. It says sound by AKG. If we open it up, there's the Galaxy Buds with the white sort of surround and a chrome bezel. So very similar to what we have on the new Note. Also here, or the new S22 Ultra rather. And inside, what we have here is a USB-C to USB-C or USB-A cable rather. So you can just reverse wireless charge these though off the back of the phone. And then inside here, we should have some different ear tip size. So there's some different sizes as well to go along with whatever works for you. And so if we bring over the S22 Ultra, let's go ahead and open this up here and see what happens. See if it connects. There we are. It noticed them right away. We hit connect and it says asking for permission while using the app. And it says Galaxy Wearable. So we'll give it just a moment here. And it says downloading software. It was 15 megabytes, only took a little bit. And it's taking a moment to get everything set up. Now it says for your review, you can send diagnostic data if you'd like. We'll hit continue, allow, so we can make phone calls with it. You have to go through all these different permissions and give it just a moment. And it says you're all set. So we'll give it a second here, and now we can use them. So it's giving us the charge, our noise control for ambient sound or active noise cancellation, voice detect, block touches, and more. So just like you would expect with the latest line of Galaxy Buds, I actually like the Galaxy Buds Live as far as the comfort of them. These are pretty nice too and sound great. So we'll set those aside for now, and let's take a look at this case. Since this is the S-View flip cover, and it's a little bit different than what we had with the last case compared to, say, the Note or anything else. So we'll open this up, and let's cut this tape here. There we go. So open it up here like this, and let's see what we've got for the case. And nothing really in the box except for some paperwork. So just paperwork explaining it. Lots of different paperwork there. And then here's the case itself. It does come in different colors as well, but I kind of wanted to match the phone. And there we go. We'll set all of that aside. And here's the case. So the case protects the camera bumps, it looks like. Has a nice microfiber cloth lining and gives you an idea of what it looks like. Although it does feel sort of like vinyl, or it probably is vinyl, but kind of vinyl in a car. So it's not a bad vinyl, but it does feel maybe silicone or vinyl-like, and then of course cutouts for everything else. So it should protect it pretty well. Let's place it in the case here. There we go. And there we go. As soon as we close the case, you'll see that the time appears. So there you go. You've got the time. Can we interact with it? You can interact with it similar to what you have on maybe the Z Flip 3. So you can swipe through, no music playing if you have that. And I don't really have any notifications, but we do have music here. So we have that option. So you'll see the cover is like this, but if we flip it around the back, because of where they've placed the cutout, it still gives us access to our cameras, which is really nice. So you've got that cutout here, and it looks like it was a really well thought out case. It's also antimicrobial, so that's something that's great to see. Keeps germs off of it and should help keep it a little bit cleaner. So it's a pretty nice case. Of course, it has metal buttons as well to turn up and down your volume, and then for the power sleep wake. You can still access the S Pen as well. So put your finger in there. It's a little bit more difficult, but you can get that as they've left you enough room to sort of get your finger around or your fingernail behind that. So it's a pretty nice case overall. So that's it for the S22 Ultra. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. It seems like it's going to be one of my favorite phones, as this is a design I really, really like. Coming from the Note 20 Ultra to this is something I really like. I actually kind of like that it doesn't have a camera bump. I know some people don't, but I'm pretty fond of this design overall. Of course, if you're looking for a charger for your device, be sure to check out Anker in the description below. And of course, if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link it in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.